Hello, I'm Raf Los with HP's Application Security Center, Security Evangelist for the Americas, and just want to talk about application security vulnerabilities at the logic level. Our current topic and something we really want to talk about, and I think that's kind of an evolving risk that really isn't being addressed well in the market, is applications and beyond just the things that we can pattern match and find. How do we get into figuring out the logic of the application and finding flaws where we can manipulate a bit to go from being an admin, from a user to an admin, or heck, skip getting loyalty points without having to pay for something, or how do we find just deep technical flaws in applications that reside at the business logic layer rather than at the technical development coding layer, so we can't just scan for them. And so our current research is a project we're calling Defying Logic, Building Complex Systems for Detecting Application Security Business Level Flaws. And what we're really kind of going into is, how do you build a system, or how do you start to code or think about, first off, let's define what a business logic vulnerability is. It's more than just bypassing authentication or manipulating authorization tags. It's being able to actually manipulate the flow of an application, the logic, the core, the thinking behind the application, whether it's on the client or on the server. So how do we build a system that helps you script at least the most rudimentary level testing for this kind of application flaw? And we're looking at the type of releasing some research in the near future that goes into defining what kind of segment this is, what kind of categories of flaws we've got here, the kinds of issues that we're going to go look for, and how do we build, how do we identify the problems, how do we start building systems that really kind of dig into the problem from multiple levels, multiple layers. And then what are we going to release? What can we talk about in the large scope of things, and as to what can we bring to the market to help people? I don't think that vulnerability testing for logic defects is ever going to be a point-and-shoot tool like an application security scanning product, but it's going to be a framework. It's going to be some kind of building blocks that we can use, that whether you're coding in Python, whether you're coding in Ruby, whether you're coding in ASP.NET, there's got to be some kind of way to manipulate, defining the flow of the application, defining where the manipulable bits are, right? And this isn't going to be necessarily a black box testing tool or a component. So you have to get some application logic knowledge here. So this is probably closer to what QA folks are doing today in terms of lifecycle testing or functional testing, but using a slight variation on it, like we'd like to talk about in the security world. So again, as you guys probably heard me talk before, bringing security over from just a security silo all the way into software quality and functional testing, performance testing, and security testing together. So this kind of logic-based flaw detection, the framework that we're going to put out and start talking about and hopefully get people to adopt, really builds upon some of the functional testing fundamentals, adding the cool security bits and throwing a little bit of magic into it that we bring from our labs, and really kind of making it exciting and getting people thinking about and writing code for and testing beyond just the simple form-based, application obvious security vulnerabilities.